I was 7 years old when I got my first pair, and I stepped outside, and I was like, Mama, this air bubble right here, it's gonna make me fly.
It was really examining how consumerism affects youth and affects just human beings in general, and looking at my own collection and how they helped identify me and create my own image of myself, and how I stuck out from the different kids in the playground, and really feeding an ego at a very young age as well, and how that carried into my adult life, and how much money I was spending, particularly at that point, on shoes, on Air Jordans, and what does this really mean? What am I trying to portray or represent? And it's something that I still struggle with, and I think that's one of the reasons why we chose to have me in Jordans in the video, in 5s, because it's not something that I'm above. It's not something that I discard as being, fake or superficial. It's just something that is, for anybody my age that grew up in that time period, it is something that helped define our era.
That was very different than anything I had kind of experienced up to that point, where I had made several versions of it. I have, I think, 95 different sessions of it.
What?
On different days, which isn't to say necessarily like 95 different versions. There's plenty of different versions, but 95 different times that I sat down and opened it up and worked on it.
Tell me what it takes, and I'll go so high.
I've been listening to Wayne since the Carter one, and definitely my favorite Wayne songs are probably more from 2004 to, until the Carter 3, I would say.
Yeah, Carter 2 is my favorite. So.
Yeah, I love Carter 2. I love all the mixtapes, like the dedications, and a lot of stuff in that time period, 2004 to 2009, 8. I still love Wayne. In terms of the performance, I think that he's in an interesting place. Like he's known and respected as one of the best rappers, if not the best rapper in the world, yet also has to make a song like How to Love in order to appeal to mainstream radio.
Yeah.
Because the majority of his whole record isn't that crossover. That song is a no-brainer. Like, I first heard that for the first time on the radio a couple months ago, I was like, he's got a hit. Like, this is going to work for radio.
Trust me, I'm a INDEPENDENT shit hustling. Chasing dreams since I was 14 with the 4-track busting. Halfway across that city with the
You are surrounded by more and more gifted, talented musicians or singers. The way that you walk into something changes. It's like you could go hunting for some dope trumpet sample or something, or you could go work with an amazing trumpet player. The process is not the same every time. I think having worked pretty exclusively with Ben for the last 2 years, it's kind of gone back and forth. Sometimes there's a vision for a song kind of lyrically or conceptually that he already has, kind of like My Oh My or something like that, and then you'll produce an instrumental, or you'll produce a whole piece surrounding that, or sometimes the complete opposite, where I've created a whole instrumental piece, and then he'll write to that and we'll record to that.
I think that Odd Future is dope. They have a movement that's youth oriented, that's really rebellious, kind of against the just kind of the industry as we know it. And what's been tight about them in particular, even outside of their music, is just the fact that they gained attention and they gained industry eyes and ears very quickly through really word of mouth and through their own fan base, through their Tumblr pages and through their Twitter pages, and it really spread organically without help of mainstream radio, without help of a major label.
The first time that I was like, this is super filthy, was with the video that they put out, or that Tyler, the creator, put out.
The Yonkers?
Yeah, with the tilt shift. It's just an incredible piece of art to me. So, and I think that that was cool for me, because there's so much kind of buzz surrounding them, but I hadn't really heard anything or seen anything outside of just kind of being wild and being crazy.
Pop a cock into a bow tie, to a bow tie, yeah, yeah.
And we danced, and we cried.
Usually, you know, kick it with the family, hang out with my girlfriend, watch some football, maybe go shop, buy some clothes.
For me, having developed like, you know, a routine of really being in the studio day and night, the brief moments in which you're kind of free, I watch a lot of HBO and a lot of...
You watch some Entourage?
I don't watch Entourage. I watch Boardwalk Empire.
That's a good one.
Started yesterday. I love Boardwalk.
That's a good one.
Community, love The Office. I think that's my way of keeping sane, is going back to shows at 2 a.m.
The ego banished it. The roof's on fire. Let's burn down the Vatican. I will moonwalk to Pluto in honor of Michael Jackson. In heaven he'll